Here we are. Hi, this is Dr. Julie Gilbert along with Rachel Matthews. Hi, Rachel.
Hey there.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing great.
Good.
How about you?
Wind blown today. Woo.
Yeah, you're gonna be blown over if you step outside.
No kidding.
Which is
Wow.
a
I
difference
mean,
from
my
the sun,
signs
the
were.
snow. We had snow in the last couple of days. I mean, we're all over
I,
the
I
place.
went back to see if that Poxahani Phil or whatever his name is saw a shadow or whatever. I don't. Yeah.
I don't know.
6
I don't
more
understand.
weeks of winter. That's what we're getting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we have had a lot of sun though too, which has
Mhm.
been interesting. We have
Yeah.
bright sunny days and then weather.
Yeah. Right. Yesterday, and then it's so It's so funny because here was sunny, and then I drove to South Salem and it was just blowing snow. And then I was like, wow, am I in a movie?
Right.
A
Yeah.
dream
Yeah.
sequence? I don't know. So just the night and day difference. It was weird.
Very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we are talking about Sleep Smarter.
Hmm.
And through the book and
Hmm.
learning a lot. And, Rachel, I think we've said a couple of times, I thought my sleep was pretty good, but I've
Yeah.
learned so much. First of all, how important sleep is. I mean,
Yeah, it really has made it like this isn't a joke anymore. It's
yeah,
it's
right.
it's like a free drug you get to tap into.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, somebody was saying, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, if you don't sleep, you'll be dead a lot
Yeah,
sooner.
that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. All the things you're trying to cram in, good luck with that because then that's all the time you're actually going to get. You're not going to get some
Right.
some longer years.
Right. No, no, no. Yeah. So I've been really concentrating on that sweet spot between 10 and 2 and feeling so good when I'm,
Yeah.
snuggled in my bed. Yeah. So
Mhm.
my latest thing, I'll talk about my latest thing and let's get to the chapter first,
Let's
right?
get to
And
it.
then we can,
Okay.
okay. We're almost at the end of the book.
This is we got 3 total. So after
Mhm.
today, 2 more
Okay.
chapters.
So then we're
Mhm.
going to be talking about what's next. But anyway, yeah. So we're on chapter 19.
Mhm.
And use body work that works.
Yeah.
What does he
So what's
mean by
body
that?
work?
Yeah. What? Yeah. You tell me.
Okay, body work. It is all of the stuff that involves. Well, he has a list. Actually, he talks about acupressure, massage,
Yeah.
craniosacral therapy, lomi lomi. Never heard of that before. Myofacial release, reflexology, chakra, sports massage, stone massage, Thai massage. So it's all of the ways that we have stimulation or touch to our bodies anywhere, from head to toe. So
Right.
we typically think of massage. That's the most common way we think of
Sure.
it.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
body work.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I don't know, 30 years ago when I started in medicine, you could never get an insurance company to cover any sort of therapy like this.
Right.
Now that's changing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is great. Yeah.
It is because I think that set the tone for people believing that massage was only a spa treatment or for the
Right.
rich and famous
Yeah.
or a specialty thing. And now we know it's part of the healthcare wheel. It's part of your health and well-being.
Right.
And he talks about that in this chapter, why it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing that really, that was interesting to me was that, the physical touch is so crucial for the healing process. And as a physician, when I'm laying my hands on somebody and it's just part of that healing process. And I was thinking back to actually, I don't know, the New Testament, and they laid their hands on people and Jesus touched people and they were healed. But so it's really, and I'm thinking maybe Jesus knew where exactly the pressure point was.
Yeah.
To really
He was the original acupuncturist.
Right.
Yeah. What a great connection there, though, to think about hands and touch, and it's so unfortunate in our culture. We steer clear of touch due to trauma. And, I mean, there's some good reasons, fear of being accused of touching inappropriately or touching someone when they didn't ask for it or it being inappropriate.
Right.
but because of that, I think a lot of us have become touch afraid. So not sure if you can hug someone or pat them on the back
Yeah.
or touch their shoulder,
Right.
and so many of us, and then of course, fast forward to COVID and isolation and quarantine,
And then telehealth. Yeah.
telehealth, right? We're disconnected physically, like the physical space, but then we're also disconnected. We're getting less and less touch.
Right. Yeah. So important to the therapeutic healing process. And he talks about the hormonal changes that happen when you have the acupressure or massage, and the release of serotonin, oxytocin, and the decrease in cortisol. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So we've talked a lot.
Physiology changing.
Right. I know through this book, we've talked a lot about that switch between the parasympathetic, the sympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And that's what that's talking about right there. Just from touch, we can be switched over to that parasympathetic, resting and releasing those other hormones and decreasing the cortisol in our bodies.
Right. Yeah. And so, then he writes down this list of great things that happen, including normalization of blood pressure and reducing inflammatory cytokines, reducing pain, improving mobility, improved symptoms or decreased symptoms of anxiety and depression, and migraine headache reduction. All immune function improvement. So many important things happening because of this kind of therapy. And then it can help with sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
This helps with sleep. And he really does. He talks about what's your type. So finding the type of touch or body work that you appreciate and that you like. Not everybody is a touch person, right? Some people are super touchy and they're the huggers, whether you want it or not. And then there's others who would prefer the space and the distance around their personal bubble, like in preschool, what's your personal bubble?
Yeah.
So realize that what it is for you and what you appreciate or what you like is different. Everybody has a different level. But I don't know, what do you think about people who might say, I don't like touch, I don't like to go to massages, it's uncomfortable for me, I would just prefer to not be touched? Would you say that there's still a need? What do you think? Is there still a physical need for
probably
touch?
I mean, because their oxytocin probably isn't that much different than their physiology is probably that much different. So then I'd get curious around that and say, why? It's just some gentle curiosity. Yeah.
And maybe that they haven't found the type of touch yet that they appreciate. Some people like deep tissue massage. Some people like the Swedish touch, barely touching,
Oh, is that what that is?
I think that's what Swedish is. Like, it's like a putting, there's stone massage. There's, there's even like those self massagers, lots of different things now that you can kind of.
Well, you were talking about something that you had recently, right?
My sister has one. I think she found it for like $20 online. It's like this little handle that has a hook that wraps over you, so you can get that spot. That spot
right. Oh yeah, that's just your rhomboids or whatever. Yeah.
And you want somebody to rub your shoulders. Maybe you've been typing like this at your computer, or maybe you worked out too hard and you got to pinch. And it has a little nub at the end of it, and it kind of gets in there.
Yeah, it gets in there.
You kind of rub that way. You've got the self scratchers, the little back scratchers.
Right. It provides a little fascial release, I think. Yeah.
Right. I have a roller, a foam roller that I use, as part of my sports and athletic and training stuff, but also just rolling around on it at night, at the end of the day, I can feel that muscle release. If I roll up and down my back, I kind of feel like a relaxation. So that's a really easy way to do all by yourself.
Right. Exactly. And I recently, this is part of touch. I recently bought a sauna blanket.
Yeah,
so there's kind of the heaviness of this weighted blanket plus the infrared heat of the sauna. Yeah, so I'm getting a double whammy.
Wow. So it's like a weighted blanket with the heat.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So lots of things out there. Those weighted blankets I know can be so good for anxiety or for that feeling of comfort, just this weight on them. I haven't tried a weighted blanket, but I hear they're awesome. They're pretty great.
Yeah.
He also talks about, pressure points,
Right.
and on your hand or your wrist, and doing self massage, even just on your hands,
Mm.
can start to relieve tension. You can do your own massage on your feet or your legs,
Right.
and just
Yeah.
kind of
Especially because most of us are like this in front of a computer, we're just hunched
Mhm.
over this computer all day. And
Right.
and
Mhm.
then we really need to get that neck kind of relaxed and
Yeah.
released. Yeah.
Yeah. Neck rolls
Yeah.
and kind of
Yeah.
reset your posture and take a look at
Right.
where, am I jutting my
Yeah.
chin out? Am I hunching over? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So what, what are some of his tips? What
So
tips does
his
he
first
have?
power tip is book a massage.
Okay.
I know you can, there's any range of, fancy spa massages that can be very expensive and very wonderful and luxurious, but we can also find very affordable massage, and perhaps our insurance will even cover it, or
Mhm.
a certain number per year. Look into it. I think it'd be worth looking into. If your insurance
Right.
company will cover 5 or 10 massages a year,
Right.
book them, baby. Book them, get them in there.
Yeah, ask your friends, because your friends will tell you, who's
Oh
was
yeah.
good or not good or where they would go or Mhm.
Absolutely. Get a friend referral, and especially for the type of massage that you like. But he just talks
Mhm.
about booking it. That's tip one. Tip number
Mhm.
two, he says progressive muscle relaxation. So are you
Hmm.
familiar with that term? I know you know what it is. Does that term ring a
Yeah,
bell?
yeah. I think, Melissa often, she goes through a routine like this. Yeah.
Mm, great.
Mhm.
Of a progressive. So you can find a guided
Mhm.
meditation or podcast that can help walk you through it. But basically
Right.
it's you start at your toes or at your head, and you're basically mindfully thinking about every single muscle from one end to the other, and you kind of clench it and tighten it so you're aware of it and you feel it, and then you mentally and mindfully relax it and try to get it
Mhm.
completely the relaxed state. And you work,
Mhm.
from every muscle group, and you just kind of work all the way down or all the way up. It's a great way
Mhm.
to fall asleep. It's a great
Right.
way to sort of meditate or to de-stress, and it
Mhm.
feels really good because you're kind of clenching your muscles and then relaxing them. So you feel the difference between a clenched tight muscle and a muscle that's been actively released. Because sometimes we don't even know our muscles are activated
Right.
and
Yeah.
clenched or tight.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Good.
that's power tip number
I'm
two.
gonna try that
He said,
tonight.
yeah, it's so good. Find one, I think there are so many
Maybe I'm
online.
gonna try that. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting me. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
try that in my sauna blanket.
Oh, there we go. There we go. In your
Mhm.
sauna
Yeah.
blanket, then you're mindfully kind of
Mhm.
meditating on the
Mhm.
relaxation,
Mhm.
and kind of actively. You might get sweating under if it's heated, you might work up a little sweat,
But
but
then I
it
jump
also
into my cold sheets. Yeah, right.
yes,
Hey,
that's right.
keep
He
talking.
doesn't
I
talk
gotta
about
tend to I'm
oh, go ahead.
sorry, Rachel. I gotta tend to my dog, but keep talking about
Oh,
the I'll be
go
right
ahead,
back.
go ahead. Yeah, I don't think in this book he ever talks about cold therapy, and I'm not sure how cold therapy relates to sleep. He doesn't happen to mention it, but we're talking about heating and sauna and warm sauna blankets. Um, and then the opposite of that would be jumping into a cold tank, or what do they call it, like cryotherapy, these ice tanks, these ice baths, or just jumping in the shower and having a really cold shower. Try it sometime. It's difficult to do. It's invigorating. It kind of catches your breath. You kind of gasp. But there's lots of benefit, health benefit, longevity benefit, and anti-aging benefit. So look into that. That's not in this book, but the cold therapy is a whole another beneficial thing. The final tip that he mentions, which we've already talked a bit about, is that self massage. So
Mhm.
the finding your own, you can look up online and find pressure points. Look at Google pressure points, and you can find maps in the body where you have
Right.
different pressure points. So look that up. For Christmas, I got a little massage chair. So it's not the
Mm.
big fancy $2,000 one from Costco, but it's just kind of an insert that you set it into any kind of chair, and it massages from the very lower part of your back all the way up your neck, and up to your head. The little shiatsu balls, roll around and go, do all sorts of different things. So I can pop on that for 15 minutes, and it's heated as well, and it feels great. And all of a sudden I feel a little loosey goosey and
Mhm.
relaxed. So
Mhm.
that would be a form of self massage, I think.
Right. Yeah. 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 I have the foam roller. Sometimes I have something and I try it for a day or two or a week or whatever, and then I
Mhm.
kind of forget that I have it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm gonna pull out that foam roller
Mhm.
too. And oops.
The foam
I'm
roller,
gonna
I
pull
keep
out
it in
that
my
foam
living room.
roller and yeah.
Yeah, keep it in your living room or somewhere like if we're watching a show in the evening, we don't watch a lot of
Mhm.
TV during the weeknights, but if we do, my rule to myself is if I'm gonna sit and watch a show, for part of it, I have to get on the floor and do some sort of body work, whether it's
Oh,
stretching,
okay.
whether it's rolling myself out on the foam roller, or I have a
Mhm.
massage gun. Oh, that's the other thing.
Mhm.
Massage guns can kind of get into those pointed areas.
Uh-huh.
So that's a way to remember it,
Yeah.
but maybe it can be part of your evening routine as you're slowing
Oh, okay.
down.
That's a
And
great idea. I
yeah,
love that rule that you have for yourself. And,
yeah,
if you got to do this, if you're going to do that. That's good.
right. It keeps me from just sitting in one
Mhm.
place
Right.
and kind of gives me an excuse to watch a show because then I'm kind of like, ooh, I can watch a show, but I'm doing good things by rolling. I'm being very good. So, it's like a reward rather than just feeling like I'm just sitting here watching TV,
Right.
which to me just kind of feels a little bit indulgent.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. All right. Very good. Okay.
very good.
So awesome. So those are some great ideas. And
Great ideas. Yeah.
yeah, sleep, 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 sleep. So I mean, it's so funny because it really, I don't know. Simple things make me happy. So I just love crawling into my cold bed.
Yeah.
And I like having my cup of coffee in the morning. I mean, I look forward to it. Never gets old.
It really doesn't. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. And the more and more you put the value of that sleep
Mhm.
time, and
Mhm.
in my mind, it's like a bracketed part of my day, and
Mhm.
there's like
Yeah.
bars on both ends, and it's
Yeah.
like a protected bracketed space. The rest of the
Right.
day is the rest of the day,
Yeah.
but this is bracketed.
Mhm.
And man, I'm looking at the clock. Oh, it's 7:30. It's almost bedtime. Yes. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, getting closer. And I gotta count down, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
how early is too early to start my routine? In 6:45, is that okay? And sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in my room for an hour and a half, just
Yeah. Yeah.
reading and just doing different things. But to slow down and then to just indulge in that time,
Yeah.
and then knowing you get to wake up feeling refreshed and have that. Yeah, I agree
So
with you.
good.
It never gets old.
Yeah. All right. So now let's talk about what's for dinner because I need some ideas, Rachel, because we're at the end of our leftovers. We did a lot of food prep over the weekend, but we've eaten it all. It's Thursday. So
Ooh, right. Yes, Thursday and Friday tend to be tough days where it's like, what's in the pantry? What's
yeah.
in the freezer? What's
Hmm.
yeah, we're at the same thing. I need to do some grocery shopping. Thankfully,
Hmm.
my daughter brought over some a salad, an Asian salad that she made. So it was, cabbage and cucumber and bell peppers and onions and it had some edamame beans
Hmm.
and it had and then she used a peanut sauce, which is like
Hmm.
some peanut butter with rice wine vinegar. And
Hmm.
anyway, it was a delicious, and then we put it over a bed of greens. So that's what I'm eating. It's leftovers from my daughter. Thank goodness
Yeah.
she made something. But yeah, what do you do when you're
Yeah.
at the end of leftovers and you're kind of eating out of the pantry?
Mhm. Well, I still have everything for a nice big green salad.
There we
So I
go.
can, and after working with you, I've got that down to a science. It takes less than 10 minutes to, get six different vegetables in my bowl or in my
Yeah.
separate bowls. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. Sometimes, at the beginning it felt overwhelming,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel.
I love that encouragement that it does
Mhm.
get easier. You just have to keep practicing it like anything
Mhm.
else.
Yeah.
And then it just
So.
becomes a routine and kind of
Mhm.
therapeutic,
Mhm.
to watch yourself put together this something beautiful.
Yeah. So I think
Mhm.
I'm going to do that. I think last week we did breakfast for dinner. So,
That's
but I
right.
don't think yeah. That's always something that we can go to, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
But and that's quick and easy. But I think this time around I'm gonna have to maybe I'm gonna look for some salmon in the freezer.
There we go.
Yeah. And
Just real
then
simple.
yeah, just real
Yeah.
and maybe that quick salad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So That's it.
Y-
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes dinner is like a bunch of little things put together on a plate and none of them go together and they don't make
Mhm.
sense. And it's like, well, is it food? Yes. Will it nourish me? Yes. Call it a win. Move on. Doesn't have to be,
That's right.
it doesn't have to be
It doesn't have to be gourmet every day, right?
no,
It
no.
doesn't
can be
have,
hodgepodge.
sometimes it's going to be boring.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
It's more than okay. It's normal.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Normal. I love it. It doesn't
yeah.
have to be super exciting all the time.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But
And
and
I
maybe
find myself going through waves of
Mhm.
excited and cooking and recipes, and I'm baking and I'm cooking and I'm prepping all the time. And then I go through waves where I'm like, I'm gonna open up a can of beans. That's dinner, and I'm gonna put them on a bit of, I don't know, just it's like so lame. But I can't think of anything else, and that's okay because I know that the
Right.
wave will come again. We're all
That's right.
back into it.
That's
As long as
exactly
I'm
right. Yeah.
using nutritiously.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Very good. All right. Well, thanks for this great conversation.
Yeah,
And
it was great as always.
yeah. And we will, until next time, sleep smarter, sleep better. Yeah. Sleep for life. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Well, bye-bye.
Bye.